Professor G.L. Pieris is a reputed Sri Lankan politician and academic. He is a member of parliament and the Minister of Education. Professor Pieris was educated at Sri Sumangala College, Panadura and St. Thomas College, Mount Lavinia. He entered the law faculty of the University of Ceylon, Colombo and won the Mudaliar Edmund Pieris Award. He won a Rhodes Scholarship to read for a PhD at New College, Oxford and graduated in 1971. He also gained a second PhD from the University of Colombo in 1974. Professor Pieris started his political career in 1994 and became the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs during his tenure as Justice Minister. He brought in over 30 pieces of new legislations which were considered innovative and in accordance with the needs of modern times. He was called to service again in 2010 as Minister of Foreign Affairs. He is now appointed as the Minister of Education by His Excellency Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Professor Pieris is hailed as a gentleman politician and a credible intellectual with a strong negotiation skill. He is a proud son of our soil, respected not only in Sri Lanka but all around the world.
Welcome to Chronicles, the program where we discuss pressing issues in the face of the coronavirus pandemic by inviting experts and leaders in essential fields to our program for asking urgent questions. Our guest today is Professor G.L. Pieris, the Minister of Education in Sri Lanka. The Honourable Minister, hailing from Panadura and receiving school education in St. Thomas's College, Mount Lavinia, then going to become a graduate at the Colombo University, as well as becoming a Rhodes Scholar at Oxford University, has today taken the office of one of the most important ministries in the country, the Education Ministry. With no time for relaxation, the minister faced many hurdles with the advent of the coronavirus pandemic, but took steps to safeguard the students of Sri Lanka and keep the ongoing process of education intact, thanks to his swift decision making and implementation of policies. Firstly, good morning, Honorable Minister. My name is Yuni Balaratna and I am representing the Royal College Red Cross Society. This is my colleague Avin, representing the media unit of Royal College. We are honored to have you as a guest on our program's Chronicles. Sir, may we begin the interview?
Good morning.
Thank you, sir. Sir, what has been the greatest challenge faced by the government in dealing with the pandemic?
Well, the greatest challenge has been to adopt all precautions that are required to safeguard the health of the country, and at the same time to ensure that as far as possible, life goes on. It is not possible to disrupt all aspects of the life of the country totally because of the COVID-19 challenge, which is by no means confined to Sri Lanka. It is a global pandemic. We have to realize the gravity of the challenge, to take all measures that are necessary to safeguard our people. And at the same time, we have to address livelihoods, the economy. All that has to be taken into consideration in arriving at a balanced policy with regard to this.
Thank you, sir. Sir, as the Minister of Education, what has been the most unforeseen challenge faced by you with the spreading of the coronavirus pandemic?
It has not been an unforeseen challenge because it is predictable what needs to be done. The challenge in the field of education has been to provide lessons for our children, to keep instruction in schools uninterrupted as far as possible. But all of that has to be done subject to the overriding need to protect the health of the children, social distancing rules, hand washing, face masks, all of that has to be done to the maximum extent possible in order to ensure the health and the safety of the students who attend our schools.
Thank you, sir. Sir, my colleague Avin would continue the interview.
So, as e learning has become the order of the day within the COVID 19 pandemic, do you have any plans of integrating smart classes in every school in Sri Lanka?
Yes, I mean, immediately it will not be possible for all the schools in Sri Lanka. It is a successful program. It is done through e-Taksila program, the Guru Gedara program. We are using television channels, we are using radio. And where these are not available in some parts of the country, or where some children do not have access to computer and other facilities, then we are doing everything that is possible to provide these facilities for these students.
Thank you, sir, for that concise answer. And moving on to our next question. Now, this, in my view, is one of the most pertinent questions facing any leader in the field of education, sir. Almost all schools have been conducting online lessons in the midst of this pandemic. However, there have been massive discrepancies and a great disparity due to this. What happens to the children who have no access to laptops or smartphones or the regulatory infrastructure needed for smart classes? Could you brief us on how to handle this and provide all children the equal opportunity for learning?
No, that's a very important issue because we want all children to have equal opportunities. We do not want some to have privileges that are not available to others. Social equity across the board is a very important consideration to the extent that is possible. Of course, there are financial constraints, but we will do our best to ensure that these facilities are made available to as large a number of students as possible. It will have to be done in stages, not all at once. So step by step, we will try to achieve that objective.
Thank you, sir. Back to you, Yuvin.
Thank you, sir. Sir, has a date been set for the reopening of schools?
Yes, we have just made a detailed statement on that subject. You can listen to that on television this evening. The arrangements that we are making in respect of schools in some parts of the country, arrangements with regard to students following classes at different levels. All this has been explained in great detail just a few minutes ago, and you will have the opportunity of listening to that in the course of the day.
Thank you, sir. Sir, could you please enlighten us on the process of isolation of students who faced the advanced level examination who had contracted the virus?
Yes, we have dealt with all aspects of this situation. The A-level exams, we are happy to say, were concluded very satisfactorily. It was a major challenge. We are very grateful to all the people from different sectors who cooperated in order to make this possible. That also, I suggest that you look at the detailed statement that this ministry has made, and you will find an answer to many of these questions in clear and concise terms.
Thank you, sir. Sir, will there be any postponement of the ordinary level examination?
That also, the ordinary level examination, the dates have been fixed. January 2021, 18th to the 27th, 18th to 27th of January. Those are the dates that have been fixed at the moment. I said that we will make a final decision within the next 2 weeks, depending on how circumstances develop in the country.
Thank you, Yuvin. Sir, could you please clarify on how and when schools will be conducting the interview and intake process for the grade 1 students of the year of 2021?
This has already been concluded in many of the schools. There are a few exceptions in Colombo, some of the larger schools, but that will also be done very soon.
Yuvin?
Thank you, Avin. Seen as most of the students who went abroad for their higher studies had to return to Sri Lanka with the prevailing situation are unable to go back to their countries and continue their education. What is the procedure taken by the government to solve this problem? Can you please brief us on that?
Yeah, we would not like to see their education disrupted in that way. So again, let's observe how things turn out in the next couple of weeks or so. And as the new year begins, we will make suitable arrangements for students who were studying abroad, but who have had to return home unexpectedly. What are the best possible arrangements that can be made to enable them to continue their education here? We will certainly address that problem and find a satisfactory solution.
Thank you, sir. So moving on to the last question by me before Avin continues and ends the session. Sir, only 30,000 out of 300 students facing the advanced level examinations get admitted to the universities. Most of the students had to pay for the higher education at local private universities or overseas universities. Therefore, most students prefer to do the London A-level examinations. Sir, could you please brief us on what your views are on this situation and how you intend on addressing this issue?
No, we are doing everything possible to enhance opportunities for access to higher education in the country, not only in the formal university system, but NITA and other institutions that provide the programs in vocational education. There's also the Open University, which provides distance education. So all these initiatives are being taken and they will be strengthened in the new year.
Thank you, sir. Back to you, Avin.
Thank you, Yuvin. Um, Sir, could you please explain to us what the measures the government is proposing if schools are kept closed for an indefinite amount of time? So, the ball plan in the long term.
No, I don't think we should speculate on that. We must take decisions as we go along. And I don't think we should hypothetically speculate on what would happen in a contingency that may or may not arise. So let's be optimistic and let us face these situations with courage.
So, sir, cautious optimism is the word of the day, as in your purview.
I think
And
so. That is the best way forward, and that is the spirit in which we should approach these issues.
all right, sir, thank you for that. Sir, how would you intend to reopen schools with the current second wave of the coronavirus infection?
Now, that is exactly what we dealt with in a very comprehensive statement that we made just half an hour ago. And that statement will give parents and students all the information they need with regard to the government's plans for the reopening of schools.
And sir, we have now arrived at the final question of our questionnaire. Is there any piece of advice that you would like to tell students around the country, especially in a trying time such as this?
No, I would say that this is a difficult time, but we should convert that into an opportunity. Adjust our attitudes to e-learning, distance education. All those tools are put at our disposal by modern technology. So I think we should make optimal use of that in order to minimize the impact of this situation on the lives of our students and their educational activities.
And that is the conclusion of the questionnaire segment of yet another episode of Chronicles 2020. Sir, thank you for taking your extremely valuable time off your very busy schedule in order to share your knowledge with us. I hope everybody watching this took something of value.
Thank you very much. It has been a great pleasure joining you for this discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.